All right, thanks, guys. Coming off a very strong 17-8 day in our Major League Baseball leans. Also 2-0 in our NHL leans as well. Let's go ahead and get back into it. No NBA or NHL today, but we do have MLB today. So let's begin with the Athletics taking on the Indians. 1:10 Eastern first pitch in Cleveland. The A's open the betting as the $1.15 favorite on the road here. Total at 9. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a nickel move toward the Athletics and movement upward on the total. Minus 120 and 9.5. So once again, Oakland opened $1.15 up to minus 120. Total open 9 up to 9.5. 51% of the consensus is leaning toward the Indians. 53% shaded toward the over. Right now, Cleveland's plus 105 on the money line. Oakland plus $1.25 on the run line. We have Frankie Montas for the A's. Jeffrey Rodriguez for the Indians. Cleveland's 14-10 at home. They rank 6th in home walks allowed. Meanwhile, Oakland on the other side of things, they are 21st in runs allowed, and they're winning just 33% of their games, taking on teams between 460 and 540. That's a win percentage, of course. When it comes to the total, Oakland is 17-9 to the over when traveling. I'm going to lean toward the home dog in this one. Give me Cleveland plus 105 in the over. 9.5 runs in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for, I don't even remember what day it is. What is it? Wednesday, hump day. Wednesdays. Major League Baseball action. Got to remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. We do daily plays on that site. They begin at just $1.99 per month. We're doing terrible in our daily best play, but very good in other categories. Check it out. It's a part of my free content to take a look at my record. Patreon.com/BrockPage. Link is in the description section below. Let's go ahead and get into some YouTube shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to Chuck Pinter, Pappy Longwood 69, Jared from Sports Gambling Daily. Excellent YouTube channel on the part of Jared. That's Sports Gambling Daily on YouTube. Also want to give a shout-out to another member of the Beard Gang. That would be Matt. It's going to be May. Matt May, what's going on, man? Shout out to Bo Dunn, Stephen Lewis, Proline Master, who also has a YouTube channel of his own, Proline Master on YouTube. Great channel there, very similar content to mine. Casey Walling, Robert Bell. I think Rob Bell asked to see my ticket. I don't have I don't get tickets, but I can show you the cash in the next video if you want, Robert. Next shout out, Blown Stallone, Jimmy Johnson, Lux Boss, Nenad Markovich, Sean Smith, Jay Williams, Julio Rodriguez, Billy the Kid, RMS, and last but not least, Bleds W, who haven't chatted with Bleds in a while. Great subscriber, great commenter. He said, hey, dude, you know things are tough right now, but, you don't carry it in your video. I know your job's tough, but this and that. And I was like, dude, handicapping isn't my job. I have a 9 to 5, which is very taxing mentally. But, yeah, I appreciate the concerns, Bleds. I don't gamble for a living. I'm a degenerate, so I don't do this for a living. I do have a 9 to 5, which is tough. It's a very challenging job. But anyway, I appreciate your concern. Thank you so much for thinking about me and noticing a change. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop back into some more lines of personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. So we did start off with the A's and the Indians. Next matchup is the Reds taking on the Brewers. And that'll be a 1:10 Eastern first pitch in Milwaukee. Excuse me, had to let that one out. The Reds opened $1.05, total at 8. And since those markets opened this one up, 10-cent move towards Cincinnati, up to $1.15. Total moved up to 8.5. Once again, the Reds opened $1.05, up to -115. Total open 8, up to 8.5. 52% of the consensus is leaning toward the Brewers, 66% shaded toward the under. Right now, Milwaukee is -105 on the money line. Cincinnati plus $1.40 on the run line. We have Castillo for the Reds, Davies for the Brewers. Castillo's 5-1 with a 1.90 ERA. Davies 5-0 with a 1.54 ERA. Milwaukee is 6th in home hits. They're also 6-3 straight up when Davies makes the start. Cincinnati, on the other side, they are winning just 36% of their games, taking on teams over 540. They also rank dead last in hits. When it comes to the total, Milwaukee is 8-1 to the under when Davies makes the start. Give me the Brewers -105 and the under 8.5 in that game. And I apologize about the belch. That was very rude of me to do that. But it was forceful and it had to come out. All right, next game, Royals, Cardinals, first of a doubleheader today. 1:15 Eastern first pitch at New Busch Stadium. The Cardinals open the betting as the $1.65 favorite, total at 9. Nickel move toward the Cards and movement upward on the total, -170 and 9.5. Once again, St. Louis open 165 up to -170. Total open 9 up to 9.5. The Royals are +155 on the money line. Homer Bailey for the Royals, Michael Wacha for the Cards. Now those guys were the projected starters last night. I do have them listed as probable for today. Just keep an eye on that. That might change just because of these pitching rotations getting kind of all out of whack. So they didn't miss a start. They just missed a day in the rotation. So we'll have to see if those guys will go. But right now, Bailey and Wacha are the projected starters. Now, the Cardinals are 14-9 at home. They're 7th in home scoring, 2nd in striking out at home, meaning they don't strike out a lot at New Busch Stadium. Now, on the other side, the Royals have dropped 4 out of their last 5. They're also just 4-11 in their last 15 on the road. When it comes to the total, the Royals are 70% to the under in their last 10. I like the Cardinals getting it done here. Give me St. Louis -170 in the under 9.5 in that game. Next matchup, Mariners, Rangers, 205 Texas. Seattle opened the betting as the $1.05 favorite. Actually, pretty much a pick 'em in this one, even coin flip. Total open 11.5. Now, we did see a 15-cent move toward the Mariners up to -120 and movement upward on the total up to 12 flat. So once again, the Mariners open $1.05 up to -120. Total open 11.5 up to 12. 61% are leaning Mariners, 57% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Rangers are +105 on the money line. Seattle plus $1.25 on the run line. We have Gonzalez for the Mariners, Sampson for the Rangers. Texas is actually very good in Arlington, 16-8 straight up at home. They're also 15-9 against the spread in that same category. And of course, when I refer to the spread in Major League Baseball, I'm referring to the run line. So Texas, 15-9 ATS on their home field. Seattle on the other side, losers in 5 out of their last 6. They're also 0-6 in their last 6 on the road. 6-game losing streak for Seattle away from home. Total-wise, Seattle 8-3 to the over in their last 11. Give me Texas plus $1.05 and the over 12 in that matchup. Next game, Diamondbacks, Padres, 340 San Diego. The Padres open $1.35, total 8.5. Nickel move toward the Padres and movement downward on the total. -140 and 8 flat. Once again, the Padres open $1.35 up to -140. Total open 8.5 down to 8 flat. 58% are leaning San Diego. 57% shaded toward the under. Right now, Arizona's plus $1.25 on the money line. San Diego plus $1.50 on the run line. We have Merrill Kelly for the D-backs, Eric Lauer for the Padres. Arizona's 16-9 ATS away from home. They also rank 3rd in hits. San Diego, on the other side, winners in just 3 out of their last 9. They've also covered just 11 out of 27 games away from home. Total-wise, Arizona's 4-1 of the under in their last 5. Give me the Diamondbacks plus 1.5 in the under 8 runs in that game. Next matchup. Yankees, O's. Is that the second? No, they were on a doubleheader yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago. But anyway, Yankees, Baltimore, 7:05 Camden Yards. The Yankees open 215, total 10.5. Nickel move toward the Yanks and movement downward on the total, 220 and 10 flat. Once again, the Yankees open 215 up to minus 220. Total open 10.5 down to 10 flat. 76% of the consensus is leaning toward the Bronx Bombers. And at the moment, Baltimore is plus 205 on the money line. Yankees minus 145 on the run line. We have CC Sabathia for the Yankees. Dan Straley for the O's. Straley's just 1-3 with an 8.52 ERA. CC on the other side, 2-1 with a 2.97 ERA. Baltimore ranks dead last in runs allowed. They're allowing a lot of runs every game. They're also last in striking batters out. Not striking batters out a lot there as well. Meanwhile, the Yankees on the other side, 7-1 straight up in their last 8. They're winning 78% of their games as the official road favorite. When it comes to the scoring in this one, the Yankees are 16-4 to the over when traveling. Give me the Yankees minus 1.5 in the over 10 runs in that game. Next matchup, Rockies, Pirates, 7:05 Pittsburgh. Colorado open minus 115, total 8.5. Nickel move toward the Rockies up to 120. Once again, the Rockies open $1.15 up to minus 120, totals 8.5. 67% of the consensus is leaning toward the Rockies. 72% shaded toward the under. Excuse me. Right now, Pittsburgh is plus 105 on the money line. Colorado plus $1.35 on the run line. We have John Gray for Colorado. Montana D. RuPaul for Pittsburgh. D. RuPaul comes into this game with a 1.35 ERA. Meanwhile, John Gray for the Rockies, just 3-4 with a 4.72 ERA. Having said that, though, Colorado's 17-9 against the spread away from home. And of course, once again, when I refer to the spread, I'm actually talking about the run line. So Colorado, 17-9 against the run line away from home this year. They also rank 5th in runs allowed on the road as well. Pittsburgh on the other side, well, they're 27th in scoring. They've also won just 13 out of 31, taking on teams allowing more than 4.2 runs per contest. Very bizarre stat there, but it's true. Total-wise, Colorado's 12-5 to the under, taking on teams averaging less than 3.9 runs per contest. Another very bizarre stat there. Give me Colorado minus 120 and the under 8.5 in that game. Next matchup. Red Sox, Blue Jays, 7:07 Toronto. The Sox open $1.55, total at 9. Nickel fade of Boston and movement upward on the total, minus 150 and 9.5. Once again, the Red Sox open $1.55, down to minus 150. Total open 9, up to 9.5. 72% are leaning Red Sox, 57% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Blue Jays are plus 135 on the money line. Boston plus $1.05 on the run line. We have Rick Porcello for the Red Sox. Sanchez for the Blue Jays. Sanchez comes into this game with a 3-4 record and a 3.88 ERA. Boston ranks 6th in scoring. They're also 14-6 in their last 20. Now, Toronto, oddly enough, just flip it. They're 6-14 in their last 20 themselves. They've also dropped 6 out of their last 8 at home. And when it comes to the total, Toronto's 15-8 to the under on their home field. Give me the Red Sox minus 150 and the under 9.5 in that game. Next matchup. Nationals. Mets. Nationals. Mets. 7:10 Eastern first pitch in Flushing, Queens. The Mets open $1.05, total 6.5. Just a nickel move toward the Mets up to 110. Once again, the Mets open $1.05 up to -110. Totals 6.5. 59% are leaning Nationals, 64% shaded toward the under. We have Scherzer for the Nats, Jake DeGrom for the Mets. Both pitchers not faring all too well this year. Scherzer's 2-5 with a 3.72 ERA. DeGrom is 3-5 with a 3.98 ERA. Washington is 9-15 away from home. Winners in just 9 out of 24 away from home this year. They're also just 2-8 straight up in their last 10 when traveling. A couple more things to add about the Nationals. They rank 20th in road scoring, and they're just 2-8 when Scherzer makes the start this year. Now the Mets on the other side, 5-0 straight up in their last 5 at home. They are 9th in striking batters out at home as well. When it comes to the scoring, Washington is 70% to the over when Scherzer starts. Give me the Mets -110 and the over 6.5 in that game. Next matchup. Marlins, Tigers. And that is going to be a 7:10 Eastern first pitch in Detroit. The Tigers open $1.15, total at 8. Nickel move toward Detroit, movement upward on the total, -120 and 8.5. Once again, Detroit open $1.15 up to -120. Total open 8 up to 8.5. 61% are leaning Detroit, 79% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Marlins are +110 on the money line. Detroit plus $1.70 on the run line. We have Jose Urena for the Marlins, Norris for the Tigers. Urena is just 1-6 with a 4.27 ERA. Miami's also 1-8 when Urena makes the start. They're winning just 12% of their games, taking on teams under 460, which is really pathetic considering, you know, teams under 460, you got to pick up a couple W's. Nah, they're winning just 12% of their games, taking on teams under 460. Now, Detroit, surprisingly enough, they're winning 71% of their games when favored. And when it comes to the total, Miami's 5-2 to the under in their last 7. Give me the Tigers -120 and the under 8.5 in that game. Next matchup, Dodgers, Rays. Where is that one? Man, I'm having a tough time locating these games. Dodgers, Rays, 7:10 Eastern first pitch in Tampa Bay. Now, there is no line currently posted for this game. Not a bad pitching matchup here. Rich Hill versus Ryan Stanek. I like the Dodgers winning that one outright. Next game, Royals, Cardinals. Royals, Cardinals, 7:45 Eastern first pitch in St. Louis. That's another game where there's no line posted. We have Homer Bailey for the Royals, Adam Wainwright for the Cards. Homer Bailey comes into this game with a 4-4 record, 5.36 ERA. Kansas City also ranks 25th in runs allowed, 26th in hits allowed. The Cards on their side of things, they are 6th in home scoring, 14-9 straight up on their home field. Give me the Cardinals winning that one outright. Next matchup, Phillies, Cubs, 8:05 Wrigley Field. The Cubs open $1.40, no total as of yet. Nickel move toward the Cubs up to 145. Once again, Chicago open $1.40 up to -145, no total as of yet. 67% of the consensus is leaning toward the Cubs, and at the moment, Philadelphia is plus $1.30 on the money line. We have Cole Irvin for the Phils, Cole Hamels for the Cubs. Cole Irvin is 2-0 with a 2.77 ERA for Philadelphia. Cole Hamels is at 4-0 with a 3.13 ERA for the Cubs. Chicago 6-4 in their last 10, 14-6 in their last 20. Philadelphia ranks 22nd in hits, and they're winning just 30% of their games as the official Vegas underdog. Give me the Cubbies -145, winning that one outright. Next game, White Sox, Astros, 8:10 Eastern first pitch in Houston. The Stros open as the $3.15 favorite, total at 8. Movement toward Houston, 15-point move upward. We're seeing movement upward on the total as well. Minus 330 and 8.5. Once again, the Astros open 315 up to minus 330. Total open 8 up to 8.5. The White Sox are plus 270 on the money line. Houston minus 160 on the run line. We have Ivan Nova for the White Sox, Garrett Cole for the Astros. Nova comes into this game with a 2-4 ERA. I'm sorry, a 2-4 record and a 7.42 ERA. Houston is 33-16 overall for the year. They're also 18-4 straight up at home. Houston ranks first in hits. They're winning 80% of their games as the official home favorite. Chicago, on the other side, they're winning just 33% of their games, taking on teams over 540. They're also dead last in walks allowed. Now, total-wise, we're looking at a Chicago team who's 5-1 to the under in their last 6. I'm going to lean Houston minus 1.5, getting the job done on the run line, and the under 8.5 in that game. Next matchup, Twins, Angels, 9:07 Los Angeles. The Twins open $1.05, pretty much a coin flip there. Total 9.5. 10-cent move toward the Twins and movement downward on the total. 115 and 9 flat. Once again, the Twins open $1.05 up to minus 115. Total open 9.5 down to 9 flat. 62% are leaning Twins. 79% shaded toward the over. We have Perez for the Twins. Harvey for the Angels. Perez is 6-1 with a 2.89 ERA for the Twins. Harvey just 2-3 with a 6.35 ERA for the Angels. Los Angeles is 22nd in runs allowed at home. They're also second to last in walks allowed at home as well. Minnesota is second in scoring, and they've won 7 out of their last 8. When it comes to the total, Minnesota is 71% to the over in their last 7. Give me the Twins minus 115 and the over 9 runs in that game. All right, next and final game for the show, it is going to be Braves-Giants, 9:45 San Francisco. The Braves open minus 130, total at 7. 20-cent move toward the Braves up to 150. Movement upward on the total as well. Once again, Atlanta open $1.30 up to minus 150. Total open 7 up to 7.5. 70% are leaning Braves. 74% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Giants are plus 135 on the money line. Braves plus 120 on the run line. We have Max Fried for the Braves. Jeff Samardzija for the Giants. Fried comes into this game with a 6-2 record and a 2.86 ERA. The Braves have also won 8 out of their last 11. They're also winning 86% of their games as the official road favorite. Now, the Braves are 6-3 when Max Fried makes the start. They're also winning 75% of their games at the current price point, and they're winning 71% of their games taking on teams under 460. Now, the Giants are winning just 21% of their games at the current market price. They rank second to last in home scoring. And when it comes to the total, Atlanta's 67% to the over when Fried makes the start. I'm going to lean Atlanta minus 150 and the over 7.5 in that game.